Okay, I wanted to look at our collar in our machine vise assembly and just give you some insights on modeling as well as creating the drawing. So if we go over and underneath our camera and we look at the collar detail that's down here, you're going to want to save this as file number 25015. And we're going to notice a couple things about this model. Number one, there's an external thread here. And I'm going to show you how we can model that and then have better results with it getting to show in our actual drawing as a cosmetic thread in a standard way. Additionally, you're going to notice, and this kind of tripped me up a little bit. So our outside is going to be the 0.812. We're going to model that first as an outside diameter, as a solid diameter. Then we'll add the cosmetic threads later. That's for a 3/8 of an inch long here, 0.375. Then the rest of the way is going to be an outside diameter or turn down diameter of 0.718. The hole going all the way through is 0.515. And then we've got this cutout, this slot in the front here. Okay. So I've got it mostly modeled in the background here. And I've got all the elements in place. All right. And the only thing I need to do is add that cosmetic thread. So I'm going to do that on the outside surface here. So I'm going to go up to, on our model ribbon, up to engineering, cosmetic thread. And I'm going to pick on this outside diameter. Okay. And you're going to notice that I'm going to leave it this time on simple thread. And I'm going to put my diameter of 0.8125, which is the outside diameter there. And then I need to add a pitch here. Okay. And the pitch is 20 as it states in the thread there. Okay. Now I am going to, select my surface where it starts, which is this front face. And then I'm going to go to reference to the back surface over here. All right. So that's in place. And I could go ahead now, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to the properties tab. And you're going to notice that my major diameter is 0.8125. That's the outside here, but my minor diameter is the same number. Okay. I need to change this, right? So I'm going to change this to a smaller number so that it's the depth of what those threads are. Now, I looked up online to see what the tap drill size would be for this size thread, and the size is going to be 0.7656. Okay. And I'm just going to hit enter. And now you're going to see that there is an inside diameter here now. Okay. So, we're going to just simply say save and then okay. And then we're going to click out of this. I think I can just click away from it. And then I can hit okay. All right. Now, as we look here, there's a definite smaller diameter here. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a save on this. And I'm going to manage my files, delete those old ones. And then I'm going to create my detail drawing. Okay. So I'm going to go to new drawing, use the drawing model file name. Okay. File is in the background here, or you can navigate to it. I'm going to browse to my working directory for an A size 2 view. A size 2 view. Okay. And okay. All right. So now I'm going to fill in my information. I have SAE, see all caps, SAE 1020 steel. Okay. KRR and color. Okay. All right. So now we're going to notice that we have, a bunch of dimensions in. Now, first and foremost, I am going to be putting a section through this part. Okay. So if we look at the undimensioned version of our collar, I'm going to go underneath here. This was, because this one we don't have a guide for. This is this one right here. All right. We want to put our front view, if you would, over here, because we're going to put a section line through here and then our section view on this side. Okay. Our section view on that side. So, we need to just kind of switch these around. So I'm going to actually delete this right side view, and I don't need the dimensions that are in there right now. So it's totally fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to grab this view. See, not the dimension. I got to grab when it gets to that outside. There we go. And I'm gonna pull this right about there. Okay. Then I'm gonna add a projected view over on the left-hand side. Okay, and then I'm gonna reselect, edit, and then I'm gonna go to view, and I want this to be hidden lines. And none, and apply. Okay. And this is gonna be my my front view, like kind of my front view. This is where I'm gonna be putting my arrowheads through. I'm also gonna get rid of all of my planes, so that just cleans things up. And then you'll notice this is kind of small on here. So so if you take a peek at my version of the non-dimension, you'll notice that this is a 2:1 scale, meaning that this is drawn 2 times as large on this drawing board because we have plenty of room. So I'm going to do that. And what that helps us to do is we have the ability then to not have such squished together dimensions. So I'm going to go down here to scale. I'm going to double click that and I'm going to hit 2, enter. Yeah, so even though it made it bigger, there's definitely more room around there. So this looks good. This looks good. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to select my dimensions. Now, this 0.812 is the thread dimension. I'm going to be adding that as a note. So I'm going to get rid of that. Same thing for the 0.756. That was the root diameter of that thread. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to push this one out a little bit and I'm going to make my gaps right away. Okay. This one I'm actually going to put over to this view here so that we can see it as a whole going all the way through. And my 0.125, this is the depth of that slot, right? And we are actually going to create a section view so that I'll be able to dimension to that edge. Right now it's a hidden line and it would not be eligible for dimensioning to, but I am going to get that updated. So that's going to be 1/8 of an inch. So 3 decimal places. This one is 3 decimal places, 3, and this one is 3. Okay. No special tolerancing it looks like on here at all. So it's good. I wonder if I can scooch this in and move my arrows to the outside. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Diameter. All right, I've got this over here, and then this is going to go to 3. Now, you could put through here if you wanted to, and I don't think that's a bad idea, but I don't like these inside types. Now, again, it's personal preference, but especially when it's on small holes and they're super close together, they're just kind of a blob. And so, so putting them on the outside is, I always think, a better choice. So I'm going to switch these dimensions. There we go. I like that better. I always like that better. All right. And then I am going to add through on this just because it's, I think it adds a little bit of clarity. Okay. Now, if you don't add through, I would never mark it wrong, but yet I think it's a nice touch. Just adds like, oh yeah, that is a hole going through because there's a lot of circles here. Okay. All right. Now let's add our section view. So this is going to be a section view for us because we want to make sure that we see this as an edge that we can dimension to. So I'm going to first select this view. I'm going to go up to edit view and we're going to go to section. Okay, we're going to section. And now what we want to do is we want to do a 2D section, add, create new. We're going to go done. We're going to call it A. And now we need to select our plane. Okay, so we need to select our plane. And I believe this is where I shouldn't have turned off my planes. Now I can see my plane view. And I want to make sure that my right side view, which is that one right there, good, is going to be selected. Right. There we go. It's a full section. I've got an X. I'm not sure why. And apply. It's not very happy. Let's do a cancel on this. Cancel on that. Yeah, it didn't generate. Let's try again. So I'm going to go back to my model because it'll save that section in the model view. So let me go here, go over here. I'm going to left click, right click, delete. Okay. And I want to get that out of there. So I'm going to go back to my drawing. Should be gone, and it is. So let's try that process again. I'm not sure why it didn't work. And I know that I want to grab my right side, my right plane. Here's my top. Here's my, oh, my right is on the front. So it looks like I need, the front plane is going to be my plane. I think maybe that's why there was a problem. So I need the front plane is what I'm going to actually be creating my section with. So if you go over here, you're going to notice that they highlight and my right plane is actually right there. Yeah, that's not going to work for a section. So front is what I want. So I am going to actually hide those planes again. I'm going to go select this view, edit it, go to sections, 2D, add. I want to do a planar, done, A, enter, select my plane. I'm going to select it over here in the design tree, and it's going to be the front plane. It's a full section. Now it's happy. And I'm going to say apply. It's good. Okay. Now I notice that my hatch is too close together. So I'm going to unselect the view, left click, and keep clicking to make this wider and wider and wider. Because again, I'm not exactly sure what, this looks good, what scaling is going to work, because up here I'd have to, it's all the way up to 77 times. So this looks good. I'm going to move this down below, and then I'm going to add my arrows. So I'm going to select this view here, add my arrows to this view. There we go. Okay. Now you'll notice that my 1/8 of an inch deep groove is now an edge that is dimensioned. So here in this view, I'm going to add my dimension. I'm going to go to annotate, and I'm going to go down here because I believe it's the extrude. I should have called it the slot, but it's the extrude. Yep, it's the slot. It's highlighting here. I want to show annotations. Okay. And I just want to show this dimension right here, 0.093. And I'm going to say apply and cancel. There it is. And again, I want to use these because if I want to change this dimension and I'm noticing in the drawing that it's not right, if I change it here, it'll automatically update the model as well. Okay. So I'm going to change this to a 3-place decimal. Okay. And then I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. It probably wouldn't hurt to be able to just say, I'm going to do text, and back of it, I'm going to say wide slot. And that way, you know that that's a slot that's there. There we go. And then the depth is coming right here in this view. Okay, just going to kind of peek here to be sure. Oh, I need to add my thread designation. So that's going to be added as a note. And this is going to be 0.812-20. And it's UN fine or extra fine EF. And then dash 3A, because that's an external thread, comma, left hand, because right hand is always assumed, left hand is not. Okay, and there we go. Oh, I do know something else I have to change, but I'll do that after this note. So now I need to attach it. So in my annotate ribbon, attach this note to this surface, and then middle mouse button between. Okay, I'm going to middle mouse button twice to deactivate. Okay, And in this view, because this is a section view now, I need to get rid of hidden lines, okay? And these edges that are in between here. So I am going to select, oopsie, select this, hold on, select this view. And we're going to go over to view display. And it's going to be no hidden lines and none. Right. The only other thing is that we have this extra line right here. I'm going to try something and see. Okay, the very last thing we need to do is add our center lines. So I'm going to select my right side view here. I'm going to go up to annotate, show model annotations, and I'm going to go all the way to the right side. I'm going to add that center line. Okay. Then we're going to go over to our, I guess, front view now, and we're going to go up to do the show annotations, do the same thing, and apply. Now, for this one, we have the cutting plane line going through here. So when we select this, we get those edges, and we're going to want to select, and we're going to drag until it gets to the center. And then that way it makes it super duper short. And we're going to go do the very same thing here. We can't individually delete those because they're tied together as center lines for that feature. So we can make two of them really super short so that we can see the phantom line and it's not two lines over the other. All right. So as we look here, oh, I do need to do one more thing. I want to add a little view up in the corner. So I'm going to take this one. We're going to go down a little bit with it. Maybe go scooch it a little bit closer so that we can add a pictorial view up in the corner here. So we'll go back to our layout, general view, up in the corner, right there. And you can change it. I don't mind the solid with edges. But I'll change the view to, I kind of like just no hidden. I think that's my favorite. There we go. And then, okay. And it's fine in the 1-to-1 scale. If you make it smaller, remember, then delete the scale that goes underneath here. So this looks great. This looks great. So now we're ready to do our creating of a PDF. So I'm going to do a save quick. Oh, that was the first time I'm saving. So then file save. I'm going to go up to file save as, and then I'm going to hover over and I'm going to click on export. Then I'm going to select PDF and we're going to export what we have here. And we're going to say yes to that name. And then there we go. Beautiful drawing. So this is going to be the file then that you're going to upload to the assignment. So to get out of here, you just X out and then hit the close. And then you are all set. If you have any questions, please let me know.